flap, 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 flap. Alright guys, what is up guys? Sindrake here with another patch notes of the day. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Sin, you are always late. You know, I am trying my best, okay? I really am. I feel like I say that all the time, but you know, broken record. I'm trying, okay? I am trying. And I feel like the company is definitely updating more frequently than I'd expect. Because I thought, like, patches would come out, like, twice a month. And I feel like they're coming, like, more frequently. Either that or time just fly. But anyways, we got patch notes. This is on the 10th. I know it's the 15th now. Literally midnight. It's the 15th. But there was also another patch. There was a bonus patch. So we're going to be going over the quest updates as well as the bonus quest update, because there was actually a bonus today. That was the 14th. That was 3 minutes ago on the 14th on Valentine's Day. Wow, great, awesome. Let's start here. Let's, the usual, starting with skins first. As you can see, you already know who it is. You already know who it is. Who has that sword, and who's the bitch in the game that Sindrake hates? Yes. We have Amaterasu with a skin coming out. Also, wallpaper. Cool, good for you. Cool, great. You got a skin. I hate you still. I mean, not gonna lie, the skin looks nice. It looks nice. Would I buy it? I would probably buy it just to have it. But I would never use it. It'll be like my trophy on the wall. I would never touch that thing. But anyways, cool, great. Amazing skin, not gonna lie. But we're moving on. That's the only skin we got. So next we have maps. New maps coming out. I'm loving these new maps though. Like, I really do. They're kind of buggy compared to the last maps that came out last patch. If you guys did not see, it was bugging out. Like, I was flying as Wukong. What a great time. What a great time. But I don't know if that was the map or something happened or what. But we got new maps. We got... Look at that new 1v1, 2v2 maps. Mystical Mayhem. So this would be the library map for 1v1s and 2v2s. It looks nice. I want to see it in game. I don't know what it's going to look like in game, but it looks nice. It looks nice. Props to them. Props to the art team. Applaud, 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 applaud. Alright, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Next, we got Champion Circle. So this is basically the tutorial map. So it's just a flat map, no obstruction, no obstacles, no anything, just one platform. Great. Finally, a real 1v1 with nothing to disrupt the 1v1. Thank you. I like it. And the frog has some lore. For those of you who don't know, there's frog lore, okay? There's frog lore. I'm telling you. So beautiful, awesome. Finally. Okay, next we got new features, aka the name of the patch notes. Quests. Quests. Daily and weekly quests have now made their way to DKO. Daily quest resets daily. I love that. I love the play on words. Great. At 12 a.m. UTC. Weekly ones are 10 a.m. UTC on Tuesday. Tuesday is the reset weekday. So that's interesting. That's actually really interesting. But okay. And then claim rewards like God Pass XP boosters and stars. And you get a bonus, etc. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, we are in game. We got our daily quest right here. Look at that. I love this. I knew something was going to occupy this space. I didn't know what it was, but like, I love this. This is great. I love it right there. It looks nice. And you have your weekly bonus. You have your quest, your daily quest is your 3. Then you have your weekly. which usually takes up, a week, or unless you play this game for a living, then you'd get this done literally in 3 days, 2 days. 150 enemies, you could probably get that done in a day. You could probably get all this done in a day, to be honest. Actually, maybe projectiles are kind of, but that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it. That's what it looks like. Awesome. Anyways, that was the quest. Let's go ahead and move on. We have another new feature. So we have in-game leaderboards finally. So you don't have to go to their website anymore. Right here, it says leaderboards. You don't have to go there anymore. It's in-game. Wow. Amazing. It's in-game now. So the leaderboards for 1v1 duel and 2v2 brawl are now displayed in the game. The conditions of appearing on leaderboards are unchanged, but they're still updated daily. So it's the same thing. Basically, you could see the leaderboards, same MMR situation, same ranking on how they sort people, same thing, but it's in-game. So you don't have to tab out of game. Next, we got another new feature, so we can mark our favorite gods now. So basically, choose what gods to show off to your party, select the gods in the god collection page, and mark it as your favorite. Your favorite god and their equipped skin will show in the lobby every time, so flex them gold skins. I don't got any yet. As much as I play this game, and as much as I don't have one, okay? I don't play enough, alright? Get off my back. Get off my back. So that is what we got going on. I can definitely show that in-game now. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll also show the leaderboards. Alright, so this is gonna be the mark favorites. So notice how there's a little star right here next to the god. Obviously, Wukong is my favorite at the moment. You can change it to Hercules. Basically, this little star button is gonna be your favorite. So you're gonna go boop, boom. You got Susanoo there. Wait, we want Wukong. Boom, boom. We got Wukong, just like that. And the leaderboards. So when you go and play, so it's on 1v1, 2v2 leaderboards. Look at that. It is so snazzy. It's so professional. It's so, ooh. It's giving. It is giving. It could probably look better, but it's a start. It's a good start. Like, I'm loving it. Like McDonald's. Anyways, and we got 2v2 as well. Look at that. TV, you need a, oof. TV, please, calm down. Please, TV. Calm down. Anyways. Back to these patch notes. Next, we have some changes. We have some XP booster changes. So boosters are now worth 10 minutes instead of a single match. So I guess I'll just read this, all of it, because you guys can see it. But existing boosters are converted to time worth their quantities. So 10 boosters is 100 minutes of boosted XP time. This will allow you to play any mode, any queue, and get the same value everywhere from your boosters. So this is great. I want to say this is definitely you're getting more value from the boosters. Because say, for example, you've played 5 1v1 games and they all ended fast, but you're still getting the XP from that one booster that you used. And matches don't last very long, boys and girls. They do not last long at all. So you can get like 5 matches out of the way within 10 minutes. It's so crazy. And the value is just so much better. You're definitely getting a better value with this change. Next, we got shop editions, and they also get they also added a XP booster bundle. So XP booster bundles are now sold in the Star Shop in a pack of 10. If you want to really power up your God Pass XP gains, 500 stars will net you 10 boosters worth 100 minutes of 50 XP. So now that they added the quest system, right? They added the quest system, and now you're getting more stars than usual. So now you're using those stars to get you boosters to level up your gods. What a great system going on here! Like, there is no way you're not gonna have a diamond. You're not gonna have a gold character within maybe 3 days if you play like 8+ hours. Just saying. That's possible. It's definitely possible with this system now. Next, we got god balances. So from here, I am going to add on God balances with the plus bonus patch. Okay, I do have the bonus patch right here as well. As soon as we get rid of these God balances, we're gonna jump to the other God balances to add on. Okay, so we're not gonna finish and then go over the other one. We're gonna keep it all together in the same category. Okay, so God balances. Oh, look, Amaterasu. Is she gonna get nerfed? Please nerf her to the ground. Delete her. Ooh, that should be an update. We've deleted Amaterasu from the game. I'd be like, yes! Yes! But that's not the case, unfortunately. So Amaterasu has an inconsistency with her air light warps range that we want to iron out. We're also making a few changes in some of her traits to improve build options. Okay, great. I love the last part. The warp ranges. She doesn't really air attack. I don't know if that's because of warp ranges or because her air basics aren't it at all. They're kind of dull. Not gonna lie. Anyways, so right off the bat, we got reduced warp range of light attack from 8 meters to 4 meters. Yeah, that is a nerf, but again, they feel weird, and she's also too rangy. They're definitely inconsistent, and I know you guys see this, but you know it's too late. Oh, we're scrolling down even more. Okay, but yeah, it's instead of raising it up, thank goodness, they would have to tone it down. It just does not make sense. You know, definitely hard to explain, but it's easier on paper. Right, next we got her talents, and I don't know if y'all saw that already. Let me just scroll down. There we go. Y'all didn't see that. So we got absolutely dashing. Remove ultimate charge on ability usage. Now grants 7.5 charge on hitting an enemy. Basically, previously that absolute dashing automatically gave ultimate charge when you hit. Well, I'm sorry, it automatically gave you ult charge when you use it. Okay, so they took that out. So now you actually have to land it to get the ult charge, which basically if you miss that ability, if you missed Heavenly Strike, because that's the move you have to land to get the ult charge. Basically, if you miss that ability, you still get the benefit from it. So whether you hit it or not, you still get some sort of benefit. Getting punished for missing, yes, but also getting that ultimate charge for missing and getting punished, yeah. But it's more like, oh, if you actually land it, you're getting more of a reward with that ult charge, and you're actually doing damage. Definitely more on the balance side. I agree with that strongly. I feel like that concept definitely catered towards, I don't want to say noobs, but I definitely want to say new players, where it's kind of like holding your hand, like, kind of thing. I'm glad we're like taking the training wheels off and everything. I love that. That's great. Strongly agree with that balance. Next we have Agile Aura. So increase movement speed buff from 12.5 to 15. Basically, when an ally or Amaterasu is buffed, the buff grants an additional movement speed. This would work with someone who gave her any sort of buff. So any sort of buff applied to a teammate or Ama, she gets a movement speed regardless. I don't play Ama, but that sounds amazing. That minor trait sounds amazing, and I don't play Ama. I hate her to the bone. Okay, don't even like bring her up in our conversations. Just nerf her to the ground, but the fact that you get more movement speed, and I feel like 12.5 is like, that was good, but like 15 is kind of like, you're kind of pushing it. Like, she doesn't need to be that fast. Realistically, she has a lot of mobility already. She's Her cooldowns are nothing. She's definitely still strong in my book. She's definitely still a presence. I mean, don't get me wrong, don't take her presence away if we're talking professional analytical wise, but like don't take her presence away, but like dumb her down a bit. Definitely. But the movement speed is kind of, you could have did something else. But sure. So Agile Aura is now Amatarsu's default set instead of Absolute Dashing. So Agile Aura is now a default instead of Absolute Dashing. So again, that ability definitely caters to new players. Definitely. Next we have Empowered Aura. Increase the additional knockback from 10 to 15. So that's the same thing with Agile Aura. If someone gets buffed, you get a knockback buff. Basically, Empowered Aura is basically the same as Agile Aura. Okay, but you're getting that 10% to 15. Don't get me wrong, 10% is literally nothing. And as a analytical, professional, like competitive mindset, 10% to 15 is a nice bump. 10 was nothing. What are you going to do with 10%? The 15, I feel like 15 in the middle, because 20 is like maybe a little bit too much. And then 25 is like, that's a lot. But 15 I feel like is the right, maybe like 18%. But if I feel like 15 is just like right, like almost there. Like it's nice, but it could be a little bit more. You know, I feel like 18, 17 is like perfect. I feel like 17 is perfect. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Anyways, that is I believe we are moving on to King Arthur. King Arthur has been doing better with his changes in the previous patch, so we're watching closer to where we'd like it to be, which necessarily only one update this time round. My bad, I'm illiterate. Necessities, only one update this time round. King Arthur, again, I have not been playing enough. I do see more King Arthurs. Definitely. I haven't seen his like performance wise, but definitely he's more. There's more King Arthurs. He has more of a presence. Definitely, because they sped up his last patch. They sped up his sword beam, so it goes really fast now. And I didn't think what 10%, 15% around there. I don't know what the speed was before. It's a lot faster now. I feel like there's no way to miss it unless you dodge. All right, let's see what they updated. So we got Blinding Light. That is his stun. Blinding Light increased damage from 12 to 15. I feel like that was unnecessary because I feel like the damage and the CC of it was already there. I feel like the damage wasn't really needed because you don't really use Blinding Light for damage. You kind of use it for CC. I don't think you actually need. I feel like 12 is like fine. Maybe bump it to 13, but like 15 is like why? Why did you need to bump it up there? I feel like 12 is okay. Like you don't use it for damage, you know. I mean you use it to do damage. Like when they're stunned, you do more damage, but you don't use it for damage. You know, you kind of use it for CC. Mixed feelings about it, definitely. And then that's it for King Arthur. That was the one change they had, which was kind of like, again, it's kind of like, okay, sure. They didn't need to change that, but they did. Sure. All right, next we got Soul. Ooh, more Soul love. Soul is getting some talent changes to improve her viability across all queues and add some tougher choices in her build crafting. Her builds are so, I don't want to say versatile, but there's a lot of good builds with Soul. And the fact that they want to make her good across all boards, she's going to be the new, like, I'm not saying mid as in like, oh, that bitch is mid. No, I'm team like mid. Like, she's going to be the all-rounded character, basically, because she's not just a blast cannon. You could definitely do a lot more. Let's see what they changed. We got talents. We got Blazing Trails. Change the way cooldown reduction is applied per hit by the ability. The first hit with the ability reduces the cooldown by 4 seconds, and each subsequential hit reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. So that sounds super interesting, and I don't know what it was before, but the way it is now, it's definitely good in 3v3. In this big, like, 3v3 fight, you're all fighting together, you use a Blazing Trail, you hit someone with it first time, and you hit the other two. Basically, you can get it off cooldown for 8 seconds in a 3v3 if you hit all 3. And I see where they're coming from there, because they wanted to make her viable through all the queues. But that I have mixed feelings about that change, because the potential of the cooldown sounds like a lot. But I definitely want to see the change in game. I don't have any opinion on it right now, but it's an interesting change. Next, we got Healing Flame. Increase healing from each fire pool from 1 to 2. So that's her own self-sustain. Oh, so Healing Flame, increase healing from each fire pool from 1 to 2. That is her self-sustain ability. I'm not gonna lie, I think this one is pretty good. It's in the same like ballpark as Thanatos' AoE heal, but Healing Flame can also go with the Floor is Lava minor talent that creates more fire pools. If we're doing the math here, oh, I don't even know how much comes off of her regular fireball. Let's just add the 2 together. So the Flame of Lava, your additional 4. So let's say potentially you're recovering 8 damage. 8 damage plus. And it's in the right direction, because I feel like the 1 wasn't enough. But now it's definitely in par, not really necessarily in par with Thanatos' healing, but it's definitely her own unique healing that she needed. Because the Healing Flame, healing for 1 for each flame, wasn't so significant, like, to be worth picking up. I use it because I have no other fucking, I have no freaking other talent. But in my opinion, it's getting better to be picked up, especially if you're running the Floor is Lava. But it's in the right direction. It's definitely in the right direction. Next, we have Hot Streak. Hot Streak increased cooldown, reduced from 9 seconds to 10 seconds. So Hot Streak, basically, if you don't know, knocking out an enemy reduces the cooldown of your next ability. So basically, you get a kill in 3v3, it reduces your cooldowns by 10 seconds now. That sounds crazy. That sounds so crazy. And knockout, oh my god. I didn't even realize that was an actual talent, but that sounds crazy. Because 10 seconds is a grip. That's a grip. Again, I think it's in the right direction, because not many people run Hot Streak or talents like that. At least not that I know of in 1v1s. Especially 1v1s. But it's a good start. It's good. It's definitely more diverse builds. And I'm all for it. Next we have Line of Fire. Increase additional knockback caused at close range by 25% to 30%. So basically, Line of Fire, Combustion, which is your, I believe your E, or your third ability, deals up to an additional knockback based on the proximity of the target. So again, closer you are, the more knockback you get hit with. And that move is definitely in combo with your Q, your flying ability. I'm definitely not against this buff. Like, I think it's pretty good, because that's really her, her, what's the word I'm looking for? her kill move. That's her definitely kill move with the combustion. It's very satisfying to land, and when you land it, you get a kill, definitely. But I'm definitely not against this. And it is proximity based. So closer you are, more knockback goes out. The range, and that also means the higher the knockback is, the less they don't have to be in your proximity to be taking even more knockback than it was before. You know? So the higher it is, basically up close to soul, boom, explodes, combustion, 30%. Lion. Definitely not against it. Also easy to dodge. So there's that. Next, we have... That is all of Soul. Next, we have Wukong. I did see this one earlier, and I'm not against it, but we'll look at it. So, Sun Wukong, his ultimate duration has been reduced from 22 seconds to 18 seconds, and on top of that, if Wukong is eliminated while his clone is deployed, the clone will disappear. I definitely understand this. Like, this is a very balancing mechanic. That makes sense, because I feel like it's usually like that in most games that have a Wukong character. That just makes sense. And his ultimate duration, 22 seconds was a long time. Dude, 22 seconds was a long time. If anything, I would probably reduce it to 20 seconds. But I feel like 18 seconds is okay. We'll see how it is in game, but 22 seconds was definitely a long time. I think that is it for Wukong. Yes, okay, so next we have Ymir. So basically, our Resident Ice Giant's ultimate is a little too effective, so we're reducing its power even so slightly. And just with that statement, Ymir ult. Oh, Ymir ult. Ymir ult. Ymir ult is very... I have mixed feelings about it, because it's really good, but at the same time, it's kind of... It can easily be countered, and it's not as potent as you would think it is. And I get they're trying to accommodate new players, and I get it. Because if I was a new player and I didn't know how to dodge Ymir ult and get stuck in all the time, I'd be pissed too. But, you know. You just gotta learn how to play. That's it. That's all I gotta say. But they are reducing the knockback by 10%. I don't know how it is now. I feel like it should still be pretty potent. Like, it's an ultimate, for crying out loud. But definitely... I could definitely see this relating to new players. I mean, I'm also not against it. I don't know. Mixed feelings. Mixed feelings. Alright, next we got Zeus. And I know Zeus got a big touch-up on this patch. I did skim it. I didn't really see what was going on, but he got a lot of things going on. And in my opinion, ever since Zeus came out, not a lot of people really play him. Like, I don't see him very often. And I don't know if he just doesn't come in par with, like, everyone else, or because he's mostly a ranged character. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, Zeus release and Wukong release, Wukong definitely got more of a popularity turn up instead of Zeus. Zeus is more range based. He's very 3v3 oriented in my opinion. He can definitely still 1v1, but he definitely does better in a group where his teammates are protecting him. Let's see what they changed. We got Zeus. So the ruler of Olympus has provided plenty of fresh energy to DKO since he joined the fight, but he needs a little tune-up to give everyone a fair chance and improve his chances in 1v1 and 2v2. And just with that statement, that is what I'm talking about. That is 3v3 is where he really shines. 1v1 and 2v2, I don't know if anyone can come up to par with him. Like, everyone just seems better than him in 1v1 and 2v2. His ultimate is particular. Holy shit. While excitingly and terrifyingly, I feel like I'm definitely dyslexic at this point. At the same time, has a little too much presence when he casts it, and we want to make the tactical play around it a little more interesting. I want to say that is literally the only time Zeus really feels threatening when he activates his ult. Because as soon as he's up in that air, striking you down with those 3 bolts, I feel like that's the only hard pressure he'll ever come up with. Until now. So first we got adjusted motion and warp range of air lights from 10 meters to 7.5, making it more flowing. Because definitely 10 meters was a little bit too far. That was hella far. I didn't even realize how far it was. And then we have next Bolt of Olympus, his only ranged ability. I'm sorry, his projectile range ability. Increased projectile speed by 15%. And 15%, I'm pretty sure they added that much onto King Arthur's Blade Beam. It's going to be fast. And it does seem pretty anticlimactic when you actually throw his bolts. So now that it's getting a speed, you can actually land it and feel some pressure. I think he definitely needed that. Heaven's Rage, that is his 3 lightning bolts coming down. Reduce the number of bolts thrown from 15 to 9, so Zeus will now throw 3 sets before snapping his fingers for a lightning strike. My bad, that is his ultimate. Heaven's Rage is his ultimate, I am so sorry. So basically, reducing the numbers of bolts thrown from 15 to 9. So that's the damage. So you're going to be doing... Oh! Alright, let's just rewind. I'm getting all this information now, and it's just coming to me. I'm gonna recap on that on this whole section right here. Okay, so basically this 15 to 9 is his snap. So when he snaps, it hits 15. Okay, now it's gonna do 9. That's a snap. His bolts, which is a 3 cluster that he shoots down per bolt, gonna do 6. I don't know why this was so hard to understand. I'm just gonna scroll down. Just gonna scroll down. We're scrolling down. Okay, there. Holy shit. Holy shit. It makes more sense now. They also increased the ultimate charge by 6%, reduced pre-file of final lightning strike by 0.05 seconds. His ult definitely is balance worthy, because they definitely changed the damages where you're actually doing more damage instead of the final damage. So now actually hitting your lightning bolts to accumulate more damage with those 6s is definitely substantially better value than snapping the fingers and getting hit by the 9, because people can dodge the snapped finger instead of dodging all the 6s. Yep, that is it. That is it right there. Alright. So now we're on map changes, but we're going to go back to the other patch notes and add it all together, okay? So next, this is the bonus patch notes as well. Okay, so I'm going to add in these as well as for the god changes. So here's a little description on what's going on. And this was today. I'm sorry, this was yesterday. We want to share some updates and content around the balance and changes we would like to implement as soon as possible. These mainly include Susano and Soul. We've adjusted Soul's healing capabilities, and Susano will now receive a couple of nerfs, adjusted the potency of high-skilled players, while still maintaining a high-level fun to play with him. We want to stress that this is one step improving balances around your feedbacks, and there's more to come. We'll keep monitoring Susano and other gods and goddesses very closely. Thank you for the feedback and social media channels and Discord. Keep it up, y'all. Keep up the feedback, y'all. Keep up the feedback. They do listen. They do. And they are trying. They are trying. So on top of that, and on top of mentioning that, so it's Soul and Susano. So anyway, Soul, we're going down Soul. So more Soul changes in the bonus patch. And again, this is the most recent Soul of Valentine's Day, okay? 2/14/2023. This is the most recent. So in our efforts of creating an exciting playstyle for Soul, we went overboard and creating a balance problem. We will be adjusting further in the next patch, but for now, we're reverting our changes of the Healing Flame talent. Okay, so we talked about the Healing Flame on how it's getting better. But Healing Flame reduced healing from 2 to 1 after walking over a full flame, consuming it. I can't say why they reverted it. Was it overpowered? I can't say what was happening because I didn't put any experience into it, but okay. That's that. And then Susano has balance issues at the highest level of play and game knowledge. These changes are only the first batch. We're starting to address his ability to deal a high amount of damage and the speed at which to recover from different phases of the sword kata's ability. Additionally, we're removing his talents to allow him to triple jump. We will reintroduce a third divine trait that for Susano in one of the future updates. So I didn't even know he can triple jump. That's interesting. Reduce the damage of air light attacks from 223 to 112. Ooh, that is such a ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Cuz I am not against that. That sounds good. That's cuz like I said previous patches, I believe it was last patch. Susano does a lot of damage fast. In my opinion, I feel like he should do a lot of low numbers fast. And this, I feel like, is the way to go. Because yes, it's satisfying to land his light airs, but you're also racking up so much damage in such a short amount of time, in seconds. So it being 112, I think is perfect. I wouldn't say 111. That's kind of like 3 damage. Kind of like yikes, but 4 damage right there. 112. That's perfect. Like actually, that sounds perfect. Next we have his Storm Kata, increasing post-fire time of his hits to make them more punishable, still allowing players to combo with a light and heavy out of Storm Kata. So they're reducing his post-fires by pretty okay. Basically, you have more time to fire it. Because I believe maybe it was a bit too fast. So it's just the time in between where you be able to get off that ability. So it's not. So you have time to dodge, basically. So now that it's being increased, it takes more time to actually hit the button to initiate the next hit. because there's a small animation. Excuse me. There's a small animation for that frame, basically. That's good. We're nerfing him so hard, quote unquote balancing him. I agree. I agree. Next we have talents. We have Rising Winds. So if you don't know what Rising Winds is, that is one of his divine traits, basically reducing the additional damage to targets in the air from 2 to 1. So Rising Winds, if you didn't know, it was Updraft, which is his tornado he throws out. Now knocks enemies upwards. You deal an additional 2 damage to targets in the air. So that damage has gone from 2 to 1. I don't see many people running that. I definitely want to say his kata combo or his cyclone rise is a bit better. But again, racking up damage in a quick succession. Yikes. Go pop off. Pop off. Next we have Windrunner. Disabled while we're working on reworking and replacements. And I don't remember what that was previously, and I definitely can't provide that on the screen with the information, but it's disabled, so we don't have to worry about it until in the future. So that was all of God Balances, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we are moving on to changes. The changes we have for the map, that is the Scuffle. It's going to be the map that came out last patch. Second buff pad added to the middle of the arena. Buff pad on the boat swaps to a movement buff. Buff pad in the middle of the arena includes the health buff. So now there's going to be another buff in the middle, and thankfully there's 2 that you have to worry about, because when it was just that 1 health on the top main boat, God, that was annoying. That was really annoying. So some changes there. We're almost done here. We're coming up on the end here. Next we have bug fixes, and like usual, they be working on these bugs. Shit, just so many, exterminating all these bugs. More than 100 bugs were fixed in that build, highlighting the ones that have the most consequences on gameplay. And again, there is also more bug fixes on the bonus patch we're going to go over. So these are the bug fixes, 3 significant ones. So Bolt of Olympus, this is Zeus' ability. Changing UI now correctly represents the charged state. Sharped Eye, that was Thor Lesser Blessing, will now work correctly with Zeus' Bolt of Olympus. Activating Sun Wukong's 72 transformations ability immediately after spawning will no longer prevent the ability from going on cooldown. And then more bug fixes on top of that, fixing an issue where wrong rewards were highlighted on daily login reward screen, and fixed crash occurrences for Izanami abilities spectral projection. However, we are still trying to polish it further for better performance. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was patch notes. I don't believe we'll be going over anything else. Let me just scroll up real quick. Let me just double check what. I don't believe we are checking anything else. But I really appreciate you guys being here for some good old patch notes. We're going to get in the game here. We're going to enjoy finally play a little bit. I really appreciate you guys watching. And if you're here this long, go ahead and hit the like button. Why not? It's free. I'm telling you right now. Like, subscribe, and I really appreciate you guys. And I hope to see you guys soon. See you in the game, gamers.